Good morning, everyone. We are here to present to you the parts of business letters. The parts are letterhead or return address, date line, confidential or personal notation, inside address, attention line, subject line, salutation, body of the letter, complimentary close, signature block, enclosures, copies line, and postscript.
The first part is the letterhead or return address. The letterhead or return address is the address of the person who write the letter. The first mandatory elements organization names, address with zip code, area code, telephone number, email address, and website. Letter B, optional element. Organization's logo, the executive name and title, a list of officials or other governing bodies. So on the right side, here is the example of the mandatory elements. Next is the optional element, the organization's logo. Example of organization's logo. Dateline, September 24, 2018 in American, 24 September 2018 in British. Months is never abbreviated, days never spelled out, and endings for numbers 27 are not usually used. So here is an example of dateline. Next, confidential or personal notation. The same notation should be put on the envelope written between the dateline and the inside address. Example is private and confidential. So here is the example of confidential letter. Next is inside address. Always on the left and single space. Inside address is the recipient address. Example is Attorney Enrico F. Cuenca, General Manager, Golden Opportunity. Ulit. Inside address is the recipient address. Always on the left and single space. Sorry. So here is the example. Next po. Attention line. This is used when you do not know the name of the person you are writing to. This line can also be before the address of the company. Example, attention to Enrico F. Cuenca, General Manager, or attention line, the General Manager. Subject line. Subject lines provide further reference, saves introducing the subject in the first paragraph, immediately draws attention to the topic of the letter, allows the writer to refer the throughout the letter, quickly identifies the purpose of the letter, should not be more than one line, one or two words. Example, subject new policy on office uniform. Subject lines is the specific topic of the letter. So here is the example of subject line. Next. Salutation should be written below the address and with space of one or two lines before the body of the letter, followed by comma or colon. Example with comma. Dear Sir, Dear Gentleman, Dear Madam, Dear Mr. Cuenca. So on the other side is with colon. Dear Sir, Gentleman, Dear Madam, Dear Attorney Cuenca. So here is the example of the salutations. Salutation is the greetings. Next po. Body of the letter. It should be clear, informative, and accurate. The right line includes the right amount of information. All the necessary points should be made in a logical sequence. Reminder: avoid slang, jargons, buzzwords, and elitist language. Avoid the passive voice. Use the active voice and active verbs. Be brief, give short but clear explanations, instructions, reasons, be specific, state the facts. Be pleasant, positive, lively, and encouraging. Use the word you in the opening sentence. Avoid using too many you. I should be used when you are speaking about yourself. We should be used when speaking on behalf of your company or group associates. Example paragraphs. The first paragraph of formal letter should include an introduction to the purpose of the letter. It's common to the first to thank someone or to introduce yourself. Example, thank you very much. Dear Mr. Cuenca, thank you very much for writing us. It is always a pleasure to be a service to our customers. So the second paragraph should provide the main information of the letter and build on the main purpose in the introductory first paragraph. Sample, please be informed that you must proceed to our Meralco Business Center and submit your proof of ownership. Land title, transfer certificate title, or lease contract. Proof of identity such as driver license, SSSID, and other primary identification cards. In latest bill to the aforementioned office during weekdays, Monday to Friday, between 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. If an authorized representative will process the application, he or she must present an authorization letter from the owner of the property and valid identification cards with picture both from the owner and the representative. The last paragraph should shortly summarize the intent of the formal letter and end with some call to action. Examples. Please feel free to email us again or contact us through our call center hotline 16211 or 631-1111 for assistance. So here is the examples of body of the letter. Next.
After the body of the letter is the complementary clause. The complementary clause consists of two styles, the formal sign-off and less formal. Formal sign-off are yours faithfully, faithfully yours sincerely, sincerely yours. Less formal are best wishes and best regards. And there are many examples of less formal for complementary clause. Beside are the example, yours sincerely. It is after the body of the letter and before the signature block. The signature block. The handwritten signature should be between the complementary clause and the type name and title. The signature block consists of your type name, your handwritten signature, and your position in the organization. Below is the example of signature block. The signature, the type name, and the title. Next one is enclosures. Small enclosures are folded flyers, business cards, and etc. are placed inside the folds of the letters. Enclosures may include leaflets and CVs. They can be mentioned at the bottom of the letter after enclosure or ENC or ENCL. If there are a number of documents, these are listed. Example, ENC or enclosure, TOR, photocopy. Next one is ENCL, lease contract. Included are the number of documents, which are 5 copies. Here are, here are the other example beside ENC or enclosure, Article X. Next is copies line, CC or carbon copies. It is written when aside from the identified recipient, other people must be given the same copy of the letter. Put CC and list other people receiving the copies of the letter with their full name and designation. Carbon copies is visible, the others can see who are the other recipient of the letter. While the blind carbon copies is used when you do not want the identified recipient to know that other people have received copies. It should be written on the carbon copies themselves and not on the original copy of the letter. Below is the example, CC or carbon copies, Leah Theodore. Next is postscript, a brief message appended to the end of the letter, following the signature, or other text usually introduced by the letters PS. Commonly used to make a final persuasive pitch or offer an additional incentive to a potential customer. Example is, PS 20% discount awaits early registrants. And another example is, PS, did I leave a pair of jeans behind in the bedroom? If so, do you think you could send them on? Postscript are usually used in informal letters. Last is the 7 basic parts of business letters. The heading or return address, date, inside address, salutation, body, complimentary close, and signature block. Here is the example with the labels. That's all. Thank you. Thank you.